Yeah. You beat the Wizards of Butt stuff. Oh man. Oh no, yeah, no. But other leagues I did pretty good. I did pretty good. In the other pay league, the league you left me in, I'm not doing bad in it. I'm not doing great, but I'm not doing bad. So I mean, I think fifth place. I think I saw today, or six. I think the top six go. I think the first two, one and two, have a bye week. Usually, what happens? One and two has a bye week, and then the top six makes it in. If I'm and so I think I'm make it in, and I don't think anyone's really running away with that league. Let me double check that before I lie. Nope, nope. Straight cash home is 20 wins, 2 losses. Uh, so that's the league where I told you that we started doing the median score. So so how it goes is you can get 2 wins. You can get 2 wins in a week, 2 losses in a week, or a win and a loss. And ties are in there as well. So you get a win if your score beat the median score of the week. So that's a win. And if you beat the opponent that you played, you also get a win. So every week you can get 2 wins. Correct. Correct. So, or you can get a win and beat the guy that you have, but you didn't score enough to even to get the median score. So you get a loss that week as well. Right. So last year I didn't get it. I'm like, why do I didn't understand. I was like, why do I have like I was in like last place. I think I had so what happens to me, and I've noticed this. If the year doesn't go well for me, and I mean due to injury, not because my team is playing, if I have too many injuries that I can't recoup, because in certain leagues, 1 or 2 injuries, you're done. Because there's just no one on the waiver wire, and that's how that league is. No one's on the waiver wire because it's an active league. Everyone's always dropping and adding people. Sometimes they're just doing it just to hold them. They just want no one else to get them. So so last year I had I think two of my quarterbacks go down, and I was like, well, I have to roll out someone who's not a quarterback every week. Like that's a 2 quarterback league in the flex. So if you can't put another quarterback in that flex spot, you're not competitive. It's you just not. No matter who else you put in that position, you're not gonna put up a competitive lineup. And that's what happened to me last year. And because I no longer had that quarterback giving me those extra points, I couldn't beat the median score. Right. So I was just loss after loss after loss. And I was like, all right, I'm done. And then I looked up and I was like, how did I do so bad? Yeah, but this year, I'm not doing that bad. I got some money for having the highest score one week. I won last week. I'm doing all right. Not doing too bad. Mm-hmm. No. Mm-hmm. And it's possible, but it's he's got so many. It's almost not possible, but it is. But yep. I saw that. Oh, mhm. Last place did something crazy, and I was like, "What?" I forgot what it was in that league, but it was like last place that did something crazy. But yeah, I can't do those leagues. Keith? Oh, it was so crazy. It was like, really? That was the league he had to run the 40 times which which is fun and all, but at our age, a 40 running a 40 could put you out of work for 6 weeks. Put you out of work. So you got people like who practice all the time tearing their hamstring from the bone. It could easily happen with a 44 trying to run his hardest who doesn't run. Oh. He's like, yeah, no, no. I think I forg I don't know. Are we recording? Yes, we are. So never mind. I ain't gonna say anything bad about Keith. Okay. All right. I remember one time Keith, one of the first early times I met Keith, or even talking to Keith, he was like, "Yeah, I'm not very good at fantasy football. Can you run my team for me?" Like, and yes, like this was years and years ago that I was telling him, nope, this is the guy you want to start. This is the guy you want to drop. This is the guy you want to like I was running his team. He's like, I don't play fantasy football, but I'm in this league. You want to help? Sure. But yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, he just did. We didn't do good that year. We did not do good. I was not there for the draft. So it was just like, oh, this is, well, maybe I was. I can't remember. But I do remember we didn't do well that year. I, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, where? Where are you going? Where are you walking? Do you just walk around in your neighborhood with it? Yeah, it's already not good. Should not be pretty. Tearing everything. It was horrible. Mm-hmm. And it's not even like 1 to 3 usually gets their money. Three gets their money back at least. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What? That's for fourth place. That's what I got. I gotta hope to get fourth place because it gets worse. Okay. That'll be phallic in nature, of course. There's a long line in between there that it's just not good. If that was the case, I would have to remove all names out my phone. Like, so you would just see numbers. So you wouldn't know who you're texting. and uh, no, no. Well, that would be cheating. But you don't need to see something that says grandma, right? I don't want you texting my grandmother anything. So you have to pick a random number in my phone, not know who it is in a random text. That was be it. No, no. These are 40-year-old men. Someone might die. First of all, that for sixth place, I'm now hoping I get sixth place or whatever place that is. That's easy. That's there's crazy people out there. That's tough. Ridiculous. You don't want to eat that banana. The minute you bite into it, it's bad. So you gotta keep biting. You can't just take 2 days to eat them. It's only 10 burpees when you think about it. Every 10 yards, it's not that bad. That could be all year. Every Saturday for the whole till next football season, you've been taking the piss. No, no, that's the practice SATs. The LSAT would be the law school one. Yeah. Yeah. It, and to me, the punishments don't scale properly. Like you telling me I could be the eighth place team, and the worst I do is a Skype call singing karaoke with you guys, with the people in the group, done, and then that'd be great. And then if I get fourth place, one shy out of the money, I get slapped. I was almost in. I was almost had the money, and I'm getting slapped. Yes, yes, you did. You lost to the third. Yes, you lost in third place. You were in the third place game, and you got. Yeah, that doesn't seem. It doesn't seem fair. I hear you. It's not recording. Oh,
Volume all the way down. No, it don't matter none. There we go. Yeah, I'll edit all that stuff out at the beginning.
that it's kind of crazy.
It is. It doesn't make
I
any
don't
sense.
know.
I
I don't
would not
know.
want to be a part of that. And
No,
I can tell. I can. I already know who the group is. Like I could picture them all in my head.
you don't know them, but you
But I
know
know
them.
them.
You know their type.
Yes.
See, you know what's funny? Like in one of my fantasy football leagues, is one of the ones with my college buddies that I'm going on a trip with. We are so toxic. We don't need a punishment for last place.
Yeah.
If you are in last place, you will hear about it every day
For the whole year.
for the whole year.
Yeah.
I've been in last place 2 out of like 3 years. Like I not 2 out of 3 years. We've been doing it for like 6 years. I think I've been last place like twice.
Mm-hmm.
They won't let me forget. I've also won a championship once, right?
They don't. They
But they
don't. No
won't.
one remembers that.
No one remembers that. But no, yeah, you just no money on the line. We have a championship belt that the loser has to mail to the winner,
Yeah.
and that's it.
See,
And we take pictures with the championship belt, and and that's our picture for the rest of the year.
I don't.
And
I don't
we
think that's.
hate it. We
I
hate
mean,
it.
that's just dudes, right? That's cool.
It is.
Like that's normal.
Yes, I don't
This
need
is
anything extra.
this is going out of the way to intentionally punish people.
Embarrass. Yes,
Punish and embarrass people.
punish.
Like you know why there's this position open in this league? Because that person got slapped last year, and they said fuck that.
That's exactly what happened. He's in jail now because he tried to kill
Yeah.
the guy who slapped him.
I brought a knife to a slap fight. Yeah, I mean that's the reason why, right there. Or somebody with an extreme banana allergy had to eat a whole banana, peel and all.
Peel it all.
Right? Like,
That you know what the funny thing is? Punishment like that seems fitting, right? It's comical,
yeah,
it's kind of whimsy. You
mm-hmm.
don't really want to do it, but in the spirit of it, I guess this is what I'm doing,
I'll eat a
right?
banana.
I'll, yeah, we'll all laugh. We'll forget about it the next go.
Yeah.
Who's the guy? Oh, we'll forget about it. The rest of that stuff is not cool.
No,
so,
it's like
so,
I get to slap you in the kneecaps with a bat. Why?
why would you want to do this to me?
Fourth place gets to piss in your eye.
And
Why?
you have to keep your eyes open. And you have to keep your eyes open.
Yes. No reflexive eye closing for this. You gotta like clockwork orange it, right? You got like if your eyes peeled open while you get pissed in. Like I just don't understand it. It's too aggressive for what it is. Plus,
Mhm.
I'm assuming there's money too, so you're already losing money.
Yes, you don't get to eat the banana and get your money back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
No,
like those things.
the punishment should have been the loss of my money. That should be it, right?
Yeah, and the only
The
person that should be
winners get
punished is last place.
is last place. It's a way. The reason why you do this is the way to stop people from
To
quitting.
keep people competitive. Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
It's the reason why you have last place punishments.
Yeah.
That's it. You
Yep.
don't need a fourth place punishment. It's unfair to fourth
because
place.
you can be
He already missed out the money. He was the closest to the money and missed out.
and you can be the dude that's 10-2 going into playoffs and finishing fourth. And it'd be like, oh man, I scored 7,000 points this year, and the next closest was so far behind, and you lose because somebody gets hurt, or they're like, there's a weird like, they were even on the injury list, and all of a sudden they got scratched in the afternoon game, and you're like, well, I don't have anybody to fill in now, right?
Exactly. Your quarterback has been in a clinch a playoff spot since week 12.
Yeah.
And now they got the bench warmers in for the final 2-3 weeks of the season. They're not even starting.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, it's like I don't know why you do that, but yeah, last place deserves punishment, and it shouldn't be. Well, I mean, it can be whatever you want it to be, but like, that aggressively punishing 4th through 12th seems just too much.
Mm-hmm. Sadistic.
It is that. Yeah, you're right. Like if
like,
you told
we all like pain.
Yeah.
Give it to us.
Yeah, it's too much.
Like, we could just punish last place. We all need to be punished.
Yeah. Yes. It's that dude from what was that bad movie about Da Vinci Code? Everybody,
Yes.
everybody's self-flagellating on Skype call. You gotta draw blood on Skype.
Did you beat yourself today? Have you beaten yourself?
Yes, sir.
Oh man. Man, I was about to say, speaking of beating yourself,
Well,
a lot of teams.
that is the segue. And I was gonna say, well, by default, the Bears scored more than the Giants because the Giants were on bye last week. But speaking of beating yourself,
oh man, I've been watching. Like, I don't know. I guess I don't know. A lot of videos, like some of the Barstool guys are Bears fans,
yeah,
and they've been showing up on my feed, and so they're just like, I'm just numb to it.
yeah, no
They're
one
like,
punches anymore.
Yeah, it's like that's probably the worst. He's like normal fans. He's like you'd have some emotional response. He's like when they missed it, I had no response. Yeah, and it was rough. It was a rough watch because I don't know if you were watching, but I know I was texting you.
I was watching.
Like y'all got it. Y'all got a chance.
I watched that whole goddamn game. Here's the thing: the Bears held the Packers to 2 dumbass throws. Remember, I predicted like 7 dumbass throws. Held them to 2. And I swear to God, I yelled at that. No one else was home. So I bet you the neighbors might have made TikToks of me. Like, my neighbor's a Bears fan. I'm just like, yeah, motherfucker. Like, I'm just going nuts. That one that Jordan Love clearly closed his eyes on and chucked down the right side of the field that landed between 2 defenders into Christian Watson's basket. Just, like how? No. That's not because he's good. That is 100% luck. That's 100% luck. You couldn't ask him to do that again if he tried. Do that again, Jordan Love. I can't. And then the other one where you get Jalen Johnson tripping over the tangled feet and he falls, and Christian Watson dives out and catches the ball, and no one's there to touch him, so he gets up and runs another 20 yards, and then Eberflus challenges it when it's clearly a catch. There's got to be something.
It was hard to be irrefutable. Like when I saw it, I thought it might have
moved a little bit, but you don't see it.
But you couldn't see it enough.
Touch the ground.
For whatever angle, you just don't see it. You see his hand under it, but you can't see it. They tried every angle and you couldn't see it.
They couldn't see it. So
it moves too. So I think it hit the ground, but it moved. But you can't see it.
I know it hit the ground. I know it did. But so they limited to 2 of those. Mm-hmm. They stopped him twice in the red zone on a turnover and a turnover on downs. I'm like, oh man. Then. And then Caleb marches him down for a game-winning drive. This is the second time he's done it in 4 weeks.
That drive was shaky. Started off shaky.
Well, that's because they drop back into slow evolving plays.
Why not run the ball?
I don't know. They had time. They had 2 timeouts and they had time.
You had time. I said first play's got to be a run play, right? Right. Settle Caleb down. Do something. Try to get some yards. Nope.
2 yards.
Drop back. Jack back, sack. Okay. Second down. We're sacked.
Let's put some positive. We're in 4-down territory. Try to get 3 to 5 yards. Quick slant. Let's do it. We can work the middle of the field. We got timeouts. 6-yard sack because
6 yards. I said, "Oh, this isn't going to be good. This is not." At this point in time, I thought game was over. Not gonna lie, I thought game was over.
Comes back. Third down. He evades a sack. Hits Rome. Nice.
Yep. Cuts it to
4th and 8.
4th and 3. It was 4th and 8?
4th and 8.
Okay.
4th down, hits Rome on a beautiful toss on the right side. And great, man.
Now he's moving. Now they're moving. And once he hit those 2 passes, he was good.
He's like, you could have asked him to throw anything. You could have asked him, can you replicate that Jordan Love throw? Yes, I can do that. Right?
Yeah, after he hit those 2, he was good.
When he's confident, he is very good. And then next he hits Keenan again for 13 yards on the left side. They had 38 seconds. No, wait. They had more than 38 seconds. Because then the next play, they ran it for 3 yards up the middle. And then they
decided that was it. Then they decided, good.
They still had a timeout. They let the clock run all the way down to 3 and then called the timeout.
Didn't take a shot to the end zone.
Nope.
Didn't do anything. Didn't try to get closer. Just gave up.
Just said, okay, 53 yards is good. Now, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Cairo Santos kicked a 53-yarder earlier in the game. I think this was a 51-yarder maybe. He kicked a 53-yarder early in the game. That ball never got 20 feet off the ground. It was a line drive. It was not very high. It barely cleared the bar. I'm just enough. I'm like, man, he just lasered that. He was going to laser it again.
Yeah.
Except for the Packers said, do you see this in the post game? Or afterwards, they're talked to several Packers players in the locker room. We've been studying Carlos Santos. We know of longer kicks, he has a lower trajectory on him, and we expected the Bears to run another play, and they didn't, which would have made the kick an easier kick. Right?
Which is, you would expect it. Who runs their 2-minute offense and with 8 seconds to go in practice goes, I think we're good enough. I think this is good enough.
With a timeout.
Who does that?
With a timeout. And so they could have worked the middle of the field. They didn't have to do a quick out. They could have worked the middle of the field. They could have done whatever they wanted to.
And I'm going to tell you something. If you're Eberflus, right, and you go out there and you want to trust your rookie quarterback to go out and get you the yards, and he does something that's just out of the ordinary. He throws the interception. He takes a sack. Mm-hmm. You can't blame. It's not your fault because I think you are supposed to do that. with 38 seconds, you have multiple plays in your playbook.
Here's the thing. Even if he takes a sack, you immediately call a timeout, and then you try to work the sidelines the best you can to get the
You
yards
have
back.
time.
You got time. Yes.
You have time. And you got to trust your quarterback that he's going to get you 5. And like I said, at that point in time, he was feeling confident.
And here,
Caleb knew he had a game-winning drive in his back pocket.
Because he'd done one the 2 weeks prior with Washington, right? Mm-hmm. They got him down there, had plenty of time with a timeout, able to work the entire, and they settled. They said, "Okay, we're in field goal range,
we'll make it easier for him.
Not good field goal range." Carlos Santos has a 53-yard leg, and he hit a 53-yarder. And even they were saying on the broadcast, Tom Brady or whatever is like, saw him in warm-ups, he was hitting 56. 50 schmicks. It don't matter. There are guys in the league that are pissing 56 yards. There are kickers. That dude off of Dallas was hitting like 70 yards.
60, yes, 70 in practice. They're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Carlos Santos, the most reliable kicker in Bears history, has a 53-yard leg in a 60-yard league.
Mm-hmm.
Every other kicker can hit from like 58 to 62, not like consistently, but they can hit it. Carlos Santos can't. He'll hit a crossbar at that far or be short. I just don't get it. Why don't you do anything? Anything. Give Caleb the chance. And I don't think it's not even about not trusting Caleb. It's about his hits principle.
He's just coaching.
Yeah.
He coaches scared. Like
no, it's the ball. He doesn't want to turn over the ball. Right? You can't do turnovers. And then, you could have ran it. Well, they were stacking the box. Okay, then you throw it. You just had a guy who made probably 3 of the more clutch throws the team has had since Jay Cutler wore the jersey. And you did that. You just pissed it away. And it's not the first time you pissed it away, because it's the second time in 4 weeks you pissed it away. And now here we are again. The whole team knows you pissed it away. And what are you going to do? I'm so tired of it. And on the replay, I was like, oh my God, it got blocked and hit the crossbar. No, it's just to the back camera angle.
Yeah. I thought it hit the crossbar. It didn't go anywhere near the crossbar.
It hit the goal line, which at the camera angle made it look like it hit the crossbar. I've seen that before. He's going for a 68-yarder, and I'm like, it hit the crossbar. I'm like, no, it was 10 yards short.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't get the mentality. I've said it before, he's not a head coach. He's just not a head coach. He doesn't make difficult decisions. He makes decisions difficult.
Mm-hmm.
He does not do what you need him to do.
Yeah, you gotta live with the decision that you make, man. And don't be scared to make the decision. Like, if you decide that you're going to put the game in Caleb's hands, that's the decision you made. Live with it.
Make the defense beat you.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yes, especially when he's out here doing what he was doing at that point in time. You trusted him enough to get you to where you needed to do. With 38 seconds to go in the game, we've seen, and I'm not comparing the people. I'm talking about comparing the situation. We've seen the people like Baltimore, people like the Chiefs take every bit of that 38 seconds and come up with a touchdown or come up with something that's better than that. Why settle with 38 seconds for a 51-yard field goal? That doesn't even make sense.
No. You could have taken 2 shots toward the end zone.
Right? Yep.
Could have done that.
With a timeout in your pocket, you have everything.
You could have gone middle of the field.
Middle of the field.
Let's say you get middle of the field and you pick up 18 yards, right? Then you could still take another shot. You could take a shot at the end zone, and you have that luxury of you just throw out the back of the end zone if nothing's there, right? Yes. And you're fine. Like don't even force it in. If it's not wide open, throw out the back of the end zone, and then you kick the field goal, and that's the day. But you're 18 yards closer, or even if you're 9 yards closer, it's still in the 40s, right? Like, why are we doing these things? Why do we say, well, 51 yards, that's good enough for us. And they even asked him at the end. It's like, well, we were in field goal range. The wind wasn't a factor. Like, yeah, great. Just you got to
The question we're asking you is, is not why you kicked the field goals. Why didn't you pass? Why'd you
Yeah.
keep trying for
Why
a
are you doing
touchdown?
anything? You had time. You had so much time, and you did. And even Tom Brady's like, "Well, you got to call timeout here now. You got to hurry up. You got to hurry up. You got to hurry up." Or like, not call timeout. You just like got to hurry up. Like, oh, they're wasting so much time. You got to hurry up. You got to hurry up. Oh, they're wasting. Oh, they're just gonna let it go. And that's what they did. Everybody on the face of the earth, except for the Packers, were disappointed. And Eberflus. Eberflus was pickled. He was tickled pink by what he did. He's like, oh, man, what a great football move. We're
he
going for the
probably
win.
he probably walked up to Santos before that and said, "Hey, what are you feeling like?" He's like, "Man, I could probably hit 53, 54." All right.
Here's the
As soon as
51.
they got to 51, there we go. He said he could hit it. Wait. I'd prefer to hit a 45
Yeah.
a 42.
I like 35. 20 to 30 is like my sweet spot, but 51's fine, I guess.
Exactly. Like if he's thinking, if I have to kick it, this is what that he said. Oh, nope, that's it. That's fine. We're good. 51, we could do that. He said it's good for it.
Nope. The opposing team knew that when he has to kick from longer distances, he has a lower trajectory. His own coach doesn't know that, though.
His coach doesn't watch footage on his team. See, that's the thing.
Well,
He watches
his
footage
coach
on the
didn't
other
watch
team.
the one earlier that never got 20 feet off the ground. Man, it was
So
just
3 points. He was like, "I'm good. That's
It's
it."
all
I
I
know.
saw. God, I hate it. I hate it so much.
And
I hate it so much.
and it would have been it was at home. It was a home victory. It would have been a home victory against the Packers.
Yes.
A team you haven't beaten in 2,000 plus days. That's think I saw. I think I saw 2,700 days as
That
was
was their
the
11th
number that I
straight
saw.
loss to the Packers. Matt LaFleur has never lost to the Bears.
Man, that hurts. That would have been it
That would have been it, right? And that is a season-saving win.
for the Packers.
No, for the Bears. If the
Yeah,
Bears get that, that's one of those things that like it just you turn corners. I wouldn't have been surprised if they beat the Vikings this week and then go on the road and beat the Lions on Thanksgiving like they did last year. You'd be like, "Oh man, the Bears,
Ooh.
the Bears are now the Bears have to go 6-1 to sniff the playoffs because they're 4-6 right now. They have to go 6-1 to sniff the playoffs.
That which includes beating Detroit twice,
The Vikings
beating the Vikings twice,
the Packers again at home.
possibly because that could be the one, which I'm going to call them the one.
Could be. Then they got to beat the Seahawks at home and the 49ers on the road. The Seahawks feels winnable, but they're playing better again.
Yeah.
49ers is winnable, but they're
Seems
still the
winnable.
49ers.
The Vikings are winnable.
Vikings are winnable, yeah.
Those Detroit Lions, I can't see. I understand last year y'all played them better than probably anybody else played them all year.
Yep. That's a tough sell for me, right?
Yeah. The way they're looking right now,
like if I look at the division, I'm like, the Packers are a beatable team. They have spurts of really good, but they're beatable. The Vikings, very beatable. Sam Darnold's coming back to earth. Their defense is still crazy at times, but they're beatable. The Lions, I don't know if they're beatable.
I don't know.
What I call them, the garbage disposal couple, and everybody else is silverware. That's what they are, man. They relish it too, and they're just like, we're not going to just beat you. We're going to embarrass you.
They shouldn't be doing that to people. The league needs to find them for embarrassing people. You can't be up 42-6 in the third quarter, still going for it. You can't be
running
doing
hook and
that.
ladder plays. And...
You can't. I was playing against someone who had Amon St. Brown, and the score's 42, and I'm like, someone's like, "Oh, Amon just got a touchdown." I was like, "Why? Why is he still in the game?"
Because they can.
They didn't take them out to like the fourth quarter and like a drive in the fourth quarter. They didn't need to play. Yeah. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty gross, and the fact they've even lost the game this year is like, I don't even remember when it happened. But they lost it at home to somebody.
Yeah, who did they?
Kansas City?
I don't know.
I have
Probably.
no
It
idea.
seems like it.
I gotta click on the Lions now and just see who they lost to because I have no idea. Tampa Bay, week week 2, Tampa Bay 20-16.
mm.
They haven't scored under 20 since then. They've only scored in the 20s twice since then.
Yeah, they're doing crazy stuff, and it's because they can beat you on all sides. Like their defense is tough. They run the ball. They're consistent running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They've got two really good running backs.
Mm-hmm.
They have good wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
They have a quarterback who doesn't, I was gonna say doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He threw 5 turnovers the
But
previous
they
game and
still won.
still won. But he normally doesn't throw a lot of a lot of turnovers. But he, they're tough. They're tough. They're gonna have home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs.
Yeah, unless they just fall apart, which I don't know how they do.
Yeah, well, they're only one game up on the Eagles right now, so
Yeah,
they
that's true.
can, they can they can lose one game and
They're only
then
one game up on Minnesota.
that's gonna work itself out. They're gonna play each other, so you know what I'm saying. Either they're gonna go all the way down, or they're gonna beat Minnesota to where Minnesota doesn't have to worry about it. Like I mean, or they don't have to worry about Minnesota. Their only real challenge, I think, is gonna be the Eagles.
Yeah.
Not playing them. I mean, just for a home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
I'm looking at Detroit's schedule. They got Indianapolis this
When?
this week. Yep. Then the Bears on Thanksgiving.
Mm,
Then the Packers at home.
mm.
Then Buffalo at
Better.
home.
They're better than. Ooh,
Then they go
ooh.
to Chicago. Then they go to San Francisco. And they have Minnesota at home to finish it off.
That's a tough schedule.
Yeah, it's not hard.
That's
It's
not
not
an easy
easy.
schedule.
Yeah, the Buffalo is a surprise. I didn't expect that, but that's the first place schedule, right? So because cause
That's
they didn't play the AFC East, so they're just playing all the other first place teams from last year.
that is only one team that I hear below 500 being the Bears.
Yeah, at 4-6. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a tough. That's a
or
tough
what's
end of the.
Indianapolis? I don't know what they're at,
They won to again. I
but
think they're like 5-4. It can't
I
be
don't know
that.
about that.
Those numbers don't match up.
No.
What I just said does not match up. Standings 5-5.
Okay, so they're at
Yep,
500.
they're 500. They're 500.
Yeah, Detroit's got a tough schedule, almost as tough as the Bears. The Bears don't play anybody under 500.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, but that Lions team is too much, too much. The Bears, I'm gonna have to start compiling a list of head coach candidates that, and I'll email it to Ryan Poles. Yeah,
like, listen,
I'm assuming
I've been doing some research.
I'm assuming it's our polls at ChicagoBears.com.
Maybe they just do first names, Ryan and
Ryan-GM.
oh man, but I feel for you. I felt for you watching that game, man,
No,
because my team was on bye. I didn't have to worry about anything.
No, you didn't.
But of course, the Giants are in the news this week.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have relegated Daniel Jones to the furthest end of the bench he could possibly go.
The third quarterback.
He is the third string quarterback, and they will be starting Tommy DeVito, which I don't know if they know history, but last time they did this, Tommy DeVito won 2 games and prevented them from getting a higher draft pick.
Yes, that's
I don't know
true.
if they remember that. I don't know if they remember that. I understand what they're saying, but I don't know if people understand that he probably gives them the better chance to win besides Drew Lock. What we have seen from Drew Lock is he's trash. And if losing is what you want to do, then you probably should have Drew Lock in the game and not Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito is going to throw that ball downfield. He is not going to hesitate.
Nope.
And if Neighbors is as open as he's been open, There's gonna be some big passes. There's gonna be some big passes.
Now,
Uh
here's what stinks for the Giants. So
huh.
even if they do get hot, they can't even finish at 500, or they can finish one game above 500, right?
I don't want that.
Like, yeah,
At this
exactly,
point in time,
because
we don't
you're not making the playoffs.
yeah.
Even if you
No,
win
we're not.
7 straight, you're not making the playoffs.
No, no, no. And I know what they're thinking. Oh, we're bringing the third string instead of second string because he's got less experience. Your third string may just be better than your second string,
Yep.
right? In some regards. In some regards.
Yep. They
I,
brought in Drew
I,
Lock and said
I
you got a
worry.
chance to start.
Yeah. I worry. I worry that they sneak a win, especially against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It's in Dallas too.
Yes. And Dallas has 0 wins in Dallas.
I know. They're really bad at home. They're really bad in
It's
general.
Giants are really bad at home as well. I don't know why we forget to say that. They're 0-5 at home.
Yeah.
So, just like the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I don't know. This is going to be rough. Um I saw Dexter Lawrence who got drafted in the same draft as Daniel Jones. So they've been on the team for the same amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably friends. Say he doesn't understand why they're benching Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones he says Daniel Jones is the best quarterback on this team. He gives us the best chance to win. That is possibly true, Dexter. Right? Dexter, I don't want to say anything wrong. You're
Nope.
not lying.
Nope.
You're not lying.
Not at all.
But this is not about this season, and we're not trying to win anymore. And I think he knows that, and he's just trying to have his guys back.
Well,
But we're no longer trying to win.
You can't say that though.
You can't say that, right? But to me, you say, man, it's a coach's decision, and we gotta live with it. But man, I've been with like if DJ's truly his boy, then I get it. I get it. Um, but yeah, this is above you now, man. This is, and we want you to still go out there and play your hardest. And we're not. That's the thing. Players go out there and play.
Go out there and try
Right?
to win.
I heard someone say it today. Players don't tank.
No.
Players want to win. Organizations tank.
Yes.
And this is the Giants organization trying their best to tank.
Yes.
We have not been very good at it in the past. But this is out the organization actively trying to tank.
Yes.
Let them do it. Just let them do it. Let them do it.
To me, from what I know about ownership of the Giants, just from that
Hard knocks.
the Hard Knocks, it doesn't seem like that's his jam.
He's not.
He doesn't want the team to lose ever.
No, he does not.
He would prefer to go 8-9, and have a middle of the road, and then do whatever it takes to get your draft pick.
Correct. That is correct. But he is also going to listen to Joe Shane.
Yeah, clearly
He's going to listen to Joe.
They let Saquon go, and he didn't want to do that.
He didn't want to do that. I've heard people talk about that, and it's hard watching Saquon go crazy in Philly.
Yes,
but
it should be.
But everyone's like, the Giants did what everyone said the Giants should have done from the beginning, right? Why they go when we use the second pick in the draft to get Saquon? Everyone said, why'd you use that pick? Running backs are a dime a dozen. You can get the running back deep into the draft. That's what everyone said.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants then did that. They went and got Tyrone Tracy in the 5th round of the draft, who's having a pretty decent year for the Giants. He has turned into their starting running back, and he cost them almost nothing. He is doing what everyone said that the Giants should have done for the longest. And now we're getting not shafted. Now we're being talked bad about when we're just doing what everyone said we should be doing. And the reason is Saquon Barkley still had a lot of football left in him. Yeah. And he looks really, really good.
Yep.
Right? He looks really, really good. But the Giants moved on.
Yep.
Joe Shane I saw one of the most successful drafts that the Giants had. We're talking about first pick, Neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
baller. I believe the second pick, it was either Drew Phillips or who's the other guy? There's a safety that I think we drafted. Phillips. No, Drew Phillips, and forget the other guy. But they're both DBs and safeties. One of them is ranked like number 2 in PFF for the cornerback. Like, so he's doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Theo Johnson was like our 4th round pick. He's now a starter on the team,
Mm-hmm.
doing pretty good, growing as a tight end. The later pick was Tracy. He had a solid draft this year,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
right? We're, we're gonna let him go. We're gonna let him do his thing. I think they got one more year. I told somebody the other day, they was like, "Oh, the Giants will be looking for a head coach and a GM." I said, "I think they're gonna give them one more year. They're gonna allow them to make their quarterback pick
Mm-hmm.
because it has to be a quarterback pick, um, and see what they do. If they can't do it with this, or if the product doesn't look any good, and the Giants have talent. I think the Giants do have talent on that team.
Yeah.
Um, it's just they need to see something else at the quarterback position, and maybe that's part of the reason why he went to DeVito
Mm-hmm.
instead of Locke, someone that they know who is gonna throw the ball. He's gonna try to showcase the weapons that they have.
Yep.
I think this DeVito to Neighbors could probably be something that excites
Sure.
DeVito's not the future.
No.
That he is not.
He's not an NFL quarterback. He's not a starter, at least.
Yes, but it's something that can excite
Yeah.
the fan base. Seeing Neighbors out there run wide open routes and never get the ball is not helping the fan base right
It's got to not be
now.
helping Neighbors either, right? So
It's not. So
it
it's going to be interesting to see.
it's a mess. And if they draft a quarterback, they got more than a year, right? Like that resets the clock on for both of them.
It should.
And like and usually, I mean, it used to be a GM gets like 2 head coaches. Like
Mhm.
if you screwed up the first one, then you gotta make good on the second one, right?
Yeah.
And and there's got to be that progress, and there's got to be that vision, and there's got to be that working like not turn yourself in the Saints where you bury yourself in a bunch of kick the can contracts and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So doing a job. I don't know if Joe Shane's a good GM or not. I can't tell because it's hard because my the 2 biggest things I have to decide on if he's a good GM are the Danny Dimes contract and the handling of Saquon, right? And then watching those 4 episodes of Hard Knocks where it did not portray him in like a didn't make him look smart, right? So like it made him look kind of bad, right? Um, I don't know.
Yeah. The I think he inherited a Danny Dimes problem.
Yes.
And I think he did everything. Like, if you're talking about the book, like doing things by the book, I think he did everything by the book. And I think that was part of the problem.
I think
He
the first
didn't
part of the Danny
guarantee
Dimes problem is.
he didn't guarantee his contract.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have went for that 5th year
Yeah, they didn't pick up the
and
5th-year option.
didn't pick up the 5th-year option.
There's no reason you should have. It was
Exactly.
not.
Do it
You don't pick that up.
going by the book.
Yes.
So now you've made it.
Even if you're going by your gut or some whim, you don't pick up that 5th-year option. There's nothing that says that's a good idea.
Nothing that said that you need to do it, especially your new GM. You're assuming that you're going to then make the next quarterback change your following year. Well, then you basically gave Danny Dimes you're playing for your career year, right? And he has, now I went to the best year of his career, but the team has an unexpected rise to success.
Well, I mean,
with the new quarterback with a new coach that you think is a quarterback whisperer.
Yep. But if the success of your team is quarterback dependent, and they make the playoffs and win a playoff game, that's his best year ever.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And like I said, with a new coach, right, who is supposed to be this guy who turned Allen into Allen or whatever it is, right? So now you see, whoa, your coach actually was able to do something with this guy. All right, let's keep him around for a little bit.
But here's the thing, like, not all that's not all done in a vacuum, right? Like,
no,
Joe Shane and Dayball talk, right? There's like, and there had to be like, is it can we do it again, right? And if Dayball says yes, then I think that's part of the problem too, because like I think you have Danny Dimes' history, Danny Dimes' year, and you have to figure out, is this sustainable going forward, or is this the fluke? And if you don't see it as closer to fluke than sustainable, then that's a problem. That's an evaluation problem.
But I think it's also a little hubris in the person you're asking. You're asking the coach
Mm-hmm.
who is
Oh yeah.
in charge of trying to make Danny better. You're asking him, do you think you can improve upon the year that he just had?
Mm-hmm.
That's like your boss coming to you asking you, do you think you could be better than what you were last year? And you go, yes, I do.
But
Right? Because it's on his job.
yeah,
It's on him to make it, to
mm-hmm.
make Danny better. That's the way kind of where
But
he's
he
where his
has to
job
be
is.
able to evaluate her and know, right? Like there's no
It's,
if they would have cut bait with Daniel Jones after that year, I don't think anyone in the world would have gone no, except for Daniel Jones and his family.
correct.
Like no one would have been upset. They would have been like, it makes sense. Like he had a year, but they know what they got. And,
But another year, and this is Joe Shane's thought process. Another year with Danny, we're gonna put some weapons around him. That year, they
but they
then
didn't do that
go.
though.
They tried. They went and got Waller
Yeah.
from Oakland
Uh huh.
to be the tight end,
Uh huh.
and it didn't work out.
No.
They tried,
That's yeah.
but
They
it
drafted
just
Jalen Hyatt. And they
yep.
traded for Darren Waller.
Yes, that was the move that they were trying to do to bring the talent. None of that worked.
No.
None of that worked. He was trash. He was 4 games into the season or 6 games into the season. He was absolute trash in those 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
He got injured. He missed multiple games, one with a neck injury and then one with the Achilles, the ACL injury.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple games. And that's before. So of the 6 games he played, he really probably only played 4.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he stunk. He
Mm-hmm.
stunk all the way.
Yeah.
And then that was pretty much the end of it. Because this year going into it, you hope that he had more weapons, better protection, and early in the season, he did. He felt a little bit more confident. The offensive line was better. He was getting the ball out, even though he was only looking at Neighbors. Neighbors was 12 targets, 10 catches, 90 to 100 yards a game. The last couple games, it hasn't been like that. Like, I don't know. And it doesn't look like the coverage because I'm looking at Neighbors still getting open. But I don't have to talk about Danny anymore
No.
because he is no longer the starter of my New York Giants. And what's up?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and listen, I'm not upset. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna look for another quarterback.
Yep.
It happens. We not every team can sit there and go from what I honestly believe a Hall of Fame quarterback to your next Hall of Fame quarterback. It's rare that it happens. We haven't had
No,
much.
it only happens in one place. It has only happened in one place. Ever. Ever.
Not true. Not San Francisco went from Montana to Jerry to Young.
Steve Young. Yeah.
So
Okay.
it has happened. I'm just saying, not it doesn't happen everywhere, and it's rare. It's very rare for it to happen. So I don't know why it kind of was hoping it would. It did. Now we're looking for quarterbacks, just like other teams have had to look for quarterbacks a bunch of times. It is what it is. We stink right now, and we've pretty much stunk the entire Daniel Jones, uh, the whole thing, which is part of the reason that's a little upsetting. Because although some teams, I think, give up on their quarterback too early,
Mm-hmm.
the Giants might have stuck with Daniel Jones a little too
A little bit
long,
too long. Yes.
a little bit too long.
I
And I
agree.
hope that doesn't hurt the next quarterback who might have a shorter leash now because of what happened.
It's kind of crazy how the quarterback world works now, because like even then with Daniel Jones when he was drafted in 2019, like it just feels like since then, like the patience for quarterbacks has just gone to nothing. Like as soon as Mahomes came out and was throwing 50 touchdowns his second year, then it's like, well, that's what it is now. Yeah, you got a year to get good. And then C.J. Stroud came out and threw 5,100 yards last year in his first year. Now it's like you got a year to be good. Like if you're not good, boy, you're a disappointment. Like I don't get that. I'll never get that. But
Mm.
6 years is enough.
Yeah,
You
that
you
sounds about. That sounds
you
like a good
you
note.
usually know
Good
what you
about
got
it.
after two. Two the third year jump is rare, right? Josh Allen is like the prime example of a third year jump, but
Mhm.
it doesn't happen that often. You usually know after two, give him three, and
Usually
then
don't get a second contract.
no, nope,
You talk like I said, Jameis Winston didn't get a second contract. The man threw for 5,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 31 interceptions,
yep,
and couldn't see. They
yeah,
didn't even let him get his eyes correct before
nope,
they was like, "Nah, get out of here."
yep. I mean, very rarely do you get that second deal as a first rounder. It feels like less and less
Mhm.
now.
Oh yeah, you think you could talk of all the quarterbacks that only got two? Drew Lock's one of those that only got two,
Well,
two
Drew Lock
years.
was a second round pick though.
He was a second round pick,
Yeah, I was just
but he
looking at
start
it.
he started in Seattle, right?
I think
He had
he started
years.
in Denver.
Yeah,
That's where he
started in
started.
Denver as well. Was he jumping? Was he started? I thought he was drafted.
He's
Okay.
drafted in
Uh,
Denver, and then he was part of the Russ trade.
uh and yeah. So Mac Jones,
So
2 years, two, three
we can talk
years
about that whole draft class. Trevor Lawrence, number one.
on his second contract and
Zach Wilson,
highly overpaid.
Zach
Yes.
Wilson, number two.
Get 2 years, 3 years, I think they gave him.
Trey Lance, number three.
He hasn't even had a time. 3 years of no
They won't even give
action.
him time in Dallas, and
No
they don't even have a
action.
starting quarterback.
Mm-mm.
Then he had Justin Fields at 11,
2 years. Was it
three,
three or two?
3 years, and they
Three
traded him.
years.
And then Mac Jones went 18 or whatever, or 14 after
Mm-hmm.
that. And he was a Pro Bowler his rookie year. So everybody was high on Mac Jones. And then the next year they're like, well, let's see what Bailey Zappi's got for us.
That was wild to me. I told you I was in New England listening to the radio and everyone was like Zappy. I'm like, wait a minute. He just they you talk about expecting greatness right after Tom Brady. Were
No patience.
expecting it. No.
No patience.
Yeah, it's just you can see it around the league how many people what you're giving them. They're not giving the quarterback a lot of time to
Yeah.
work. Who's probably going to be the next? What's name? Bryce is probably going to be the next person that does not get the time that he needs to,
Yeah. More than
and
likely.
be moved in a trade or trying to get something for him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them out there. Levis is not. He probably doesn't. He's being given all the opportunities. It's just not. It may not be it.
But now that 2020 draft, I'm looking at it right now. That was the Joe Burrow 5 year deal, Tua
Mm-hmm.
deal, Herbert
Deal.
deal. All three of those are Pro Bowlers too.
Mm-hmm.
And those were the only. And then Jordan Love deal.
Not a bad draft. All second contracts, all probably Pro Bowlers.
Still Jordan Love getting that second deal. I think off of 1 year is. I like it just because the potential for bust is there. I
Uh-huh.
just don't see it in Jordan Love. Nothing. He seems like a nice enough dude. I just don't see it in him. But what do I
But
what do I know?
what if LaFleur and him they're there for years and he just gets better every year?
Nah,
That would be a worst nightmare. I don't know. That's
nope,
why you don't want to think.
not happening. I don't see it happening ever. What I see is Jordan Love regressing and regressing and regressing to the point where like, boy, why did we give him all that money? And that's the end of the season. That's what'll happen. He's just going
That's
to
the end of this
regress.
season
Yes,
or every
end of the
season.
season. And week 18, when he throws 6 picks to the Bears and still wins somehow, they're like, what have we done?
But then he probably still make the playoffs.
Yeah, I know.
And then, then who knows what happens when he's in the playoffs.
Remember, he was pretty bad like the first 6 or 7 games last year, and then had a nice second back half.
And
He
then won a playoff game.
and won a playoff game and was like a minute away from going to the NFC Championship game. I know, I remember, I was there. Uh, yeah, and then like the draft after that was Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. We already talked about that one. And then the draft after that, there were no first round draft picks. That's the Kenny Pickett draft. Oh, Kenny Pickett was the first round draft pick. He's already out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
And
backup of the of Jalen Hurts.
yep. And then we got the Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, who I don't think is long for this world either. Well, not necessarily this world, the NFL world.
Jesus Christ.
He'll die soon.
Jesus. But no, he is yeah, that one's a I don't know. Like I watch him and when he misses, there's no one around where the ball lands.
Yeah.
Like when he throws the pass, you're like, oh, and he lands good release, a good launch, and you go, there's no one near. Who was he throwing that ball to? He missed him by 5 yards, like 10 yards.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he is so inaccurate, but he's
he
super athletic.
He threw some balls on Sunday.
Yes.
That were pretty good.
Yeah,
but he threw some bad ones.
Yes.
He threw some bad ones. But he threw like 2 to Pierce, I think it was, across the middle. I was like, whoa, that was a good pass. But he threw some bad ones. He's definitely he could definitely throw some bad ones.
So this is actually a good completion day for him. He's 20 for 30.
Yeah,
They had him throw 30 times, which is a lot.
I will tell you why. Because Jonathan Taylor rushed for like 30 times, but could go nowhere.
24 for 57, yeah.
He could go nowhere.
Anthony Richardson had a nice game. And the fact that the Jets lost is amazing. I love it.
Oh, yeah, they had the first GM firing of the year.
They had the first coach firing, and then the first GM firing, and not on the same day.
No.
They're, 5 weeks apart?
The GM firing doesn't make any sense. It kind of doesn't make sense, right?
No.
Because he's not, once he puts the pieces together, it's not his fault how they get arranged. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that these are my players. I have after I give you the players, I have nothing to do with what happens on the field. I literally have nothing to do.
Yeah.
So are you firing him for what? The hiring of Rodgers, which y'all loved him for when he did it. The firing of Robert Saleh, which said came from the owner.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So at that point in time, what are you firing the GM for? Now, granted, I think he's done pretty good in the draft. I think he's handled contract situations probably not the best. But he's got them done. He's got some of those contracts done. So I don't know why they fire him. I don't think he was great, but I don't think he did anything to be fired.
Nope. And they shouldn't have fired Robert Saleh to begin with.
Should not have fired Robert Saleh. This is the owner, Woody Johnson.
I just realized that Woody and Johnson are both double entendres, right? Like they're so.
I didn't realize he is the Johnson of the Johnson and Johnson. Johnson.
And you go out and get the anti-vax quarterback.
Right? I was like, man, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. He's doing a splash. I don't know what getting rid of your GM does. I don't know. Is him and Woody that cool? Not Woody. Rodgers that cool? And Rodgers said, I don't like him either. Like what? Like
I don't know.
I can't think of a situation where the GM needs to be fired mid-year.
I don't know. I don't get it. Listen, they fired Saleh at 2-3. They were 2-3. 5 games in, they're 3 losses.
One of the best defenses in the league at the time.
One of the best defenses in the league at the time. they lost opening night at San Francisco. Okay, that happens. They lost a 10-9 to Denver in a storm. Okay, that happens. right? Weird things happen. Maybe the Bears and Justin Fields beat the 49ers in a torrential downpour and then only won 3 games the whole season, right? It happens. Then they lost to Minnesota in London or wherever. And then they're
Mm-hmm.
like, gotta fire Salah. So they fire Salah, they lose. They get Devontae Adams, they lose. They lose. They finally win, then they lose and lose. Like to me, all of those L's, they were 2-3, and now they're 3-8. So they went 1-5 after fighting Robert Saleh, which is probably their worst 6-game stretch, even when they had Zach Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not. That's not on the GM.
No, I don't think firing Saleh was on the GM either.
No, you just the solid thing just didn't make any sense.
Nope.
Unless Rogers, the only thing was the Rogers thing. I felt like the
It's got to be.
Rogers and him didn't get along.
Yeah.
But then he's saying that him and the GM didn't get along either. Like, and now you're gonna bring in another GM to have to deal with Rogers.
Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to want to deal with Rodgers.
A contract situation. He's still, I think, got it for one more year, but
They can probably cut him.
you he's got the we'll evaluate the end of the year at the end of the year. Wait, what do you mean? You're on the contract. How about why did you play your
He
contract
does it
out?
every year.
I
I'm going to go to
know.
the darkness retreat. I'm going to do a bunch of mushrooms,
It's
take some
just
ayahuasca.
now a GM has to deal with that and a coach has to deal with that. And I hope for the sake of the Jets, even though I'm not a Jets fan and I don't like the Jets, I hope that Rodgers is far away from the hire the coach hire as he possibly can. Don't ask him
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Oh,
He is
no.
not the future of that team.
No.
Um, and honestly, at this point in time, if you're the GM, you're trying to figure out how to get rid of some of those guys that what's name brought in. At this point in time, you actively have to be thinking about trades with Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're in bed now with Devontae Adams. You got him for a couple years. Just just now you got to get rid of those guys before you have to pay them. You let it like you're gonna have to play Garrett. You're gonna have to pay Sauce. You got to get rid of them right now before you
Sauce
have
has
to pay
been
them.
really bad this year.
Since Salah's been gone,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Go figure.
DC either doesn't have him in the right positioning. He's been looking like he's getting toasted out there.
Yep.
Maybe he's just not. He just maybe he doesn't want to play. He could be upset. Like I don't know, but I still think the man. I saw the man play last year. He's not trash, right? So
Yeah, he's not trash.
you're gonna have to get rid of some of those young pieces that you had to get some draft capital in there, um, and just to make the team work. I don't know if Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams work together, and Garrett Wilson might want to go someplace where he can be the number one, or at least be. I don't know. A 1A, 1B would be pretty. He could do that there,
You think he'd
but
be
he
a
may
one A,
not want to be.
but like, not now. You got an old ass quarterback. You got his old ass friend wide receiver. Like nothing against Devontae Adams. I think he's still a great player, but he's on the wrong
Yeah.
side of 30
Mm-hmm.
for a wide receiver. Like, I mean, he's still got value. I mean, look at D Hop. Like, he was just in a
Yeah.
bad
Oh,
situation for the
definitely.
longest time, right? So if you cut Aaron Rodgers as a post June 1 designation for next year, it's only 14 dead on the season, and you get 9.5 back. But you're eating 14 for the next 1, 2, 3 years, which I think is worth it because then it frees up 49 million in 2026.
I
You just do it. You have to. Just
I
cut him.
think they. I think it's cleaning the house. I don't know if they can cut him again. Like I know you said they can. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know team wise if they could do that.
They're going to end up
Right.
with a top 5 pick.
Very yes, very possible.
They're going to
Very
end up with,
possible.
well, it's tough fighting right now for those top picks,
Yep.
but they're bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now they have the 7th pick at 3-8. You have Jacksonville at 2-9, Tennessee 2-8, Cleveland 2-8, Giants 2-8, Vegas 2-8, Patriots 3-8, Jets 3-8, Carolina 3-7, Dallas 3-7. It is going to be a battle to the death between all those teams.
Because none of them are good. None of them are even slightly
Jacksonville
good.
has Tennessee. Jacksonville has Tennessee, the Jets, and Vegas, and Tennessee and the Colts to end out their season.
Jacksonville could sneak some wins in there because those are
some
all
wins
bad teams. Those are all bad teams.
Tennessee has Jacksonville, Colts, Jacksonville, and they have 2 against Houston and 1 against the Commanders, right? So Tennessee
only because of Jacksonville. Those games are toss-ups. You don't really know.
The Browns have Pittsburgh, Denver, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Miami, Baltimore. The Browns
don't have a win.
They don't have a win
on that schedule,
and they're going to get a quarterback. They're just going to. They've already been just sitting on Watson for forever. They'll just draft a quarterback, and that's what it is. That's life.
But then you don't get the benefit of having that quarterback
there's no
for
window.
knowing that cost. There's no window. By the time you're out of the books of Watson's contract, it's time to pay the quarterback that you just drafted.
There is no world in which you can get rid of Sean Watson. You can't trade him. No one's going to trade for him. You can cut him, but it's all guaranteed, so you have to eat that, and no one's going to pick him up. No one.
Nope.
Now you got the Giants, got Tampa Bay, Dallas, New Orleans, Baltimore, Atlanta, Indianapolis, Philadelphia. Winnable games in there. Dallas.
Yeah, I know.
Dallas,
Saints.
Saints are in New York. The Colts in New York.
Yes,
in December, those
know.
are winnable games. Right?
I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. They are.
The Vegas has Denver, Kansas City, Tampa, Atlanta, Jacksonville, New Orleans, Chargers. They have 1, maybe
Chargers
2.
is probably an L.
Chargers is an L.
But they are not good.
Who?
They are of all those teams that you mentioned, like they are possibly the worst talented team.
Who? Vegas?
Oh
yeah, they're terrible.
On offense, they are possibly the worst talent. They have the least amount of talent on offense of all the teams that you just mentioned. Unless even Jacksonville with Mac Jones as the quarterback has some talent in the wide receiver group.
They're just flat out bad.
They're just not good.
Jacksonville's bad. And then
Doug Peterson will be looking for a job.
Oh, I'm surprised he hasn't been fired yet. New England has Miami, Indianapolis, Arizona, Buffalo, the Chargers, and Buffalo. Now
Indianapolis is the only winnable game on there.
The good thing about New England is they already have a quarterback, so
they don't need a quarterback there. Yes,
so they're either taking best
defensive
or whatever, or they're trading. Right?
Travis Henry is a nice option. I don't know where he goes because I don't know where they have him graded as a wide receiver in NFL or a cornerback in NFL. They will not let him play both ways, so he's going to have to figure out where he wants to play. He's an interesting option. I don't know where he goes.
Yep. Jets go Seattle, Miami, Jacksonville, Rams, Buffalo, Miami.
The funny thing about Jets is they shouldn't be this bad. No. It's hard to see that they are this bad. So every time I see them, I kind of expect them to win.
Yeah.
Like I kind of expect them to win.
They should have won this last week.
Yes. But they just don't.
Nope.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. I don't know where to put them because technically some of those games that you just mentioned, they're better roster.
Mm-hmm.
Offense and defense.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Seattle, they should probably beat Seattle.
The Jets have a lot of names. They have a lot of names.
But a lot of talent. Breece Hall is talented.
Yeah. Like these are good names, right? Those are good names to have. Those are good players. They don't do anything with them.
And it comes back to the Rodgers.
Yep. Carolina has Kansas City.
Loss.
Tampa Bay.
Loss.
Eagles.
Loss.
Dallas.
Oh.
Maybe.
Oh. They can put up a win. If they can beat Dallas.
It's in Carolina though.
If it was in Dallas, you would definitely win.
Then you got Arizona after that, Tampa Bay, and then Atlanta. I think the Panthers might have a win or two in there. Maybe.
Atlanta and Dallas, only because Atlanta is a division opponent.
If the Panthers get one more win, they double their total from last year. So,
Double?
yes. So good for them. And then Dallas has Washington, the Giants,
Loss.
Cincinnati, Carolina, Tampa, Philly, Washington.
Carolina,
Yeah, and that's a
Giants.
maybe, and that's a maybe, right? So there's a lot of these bad teams are beating up on one another,
Yeah. It's
or
gonna be
one's just getting smoked. So the
it's
Giants,
gonna be tough.
it
Honestly,
it's gonna be a battle for that
it,
number one pick. I like it.
I if I'm putting my bet on who has the number one pick, I'm gonna say Las Vegas Raiders.
That's a pretty good bet, man.
I'm
I'm actually going Browns.
Browns. Wow.
I
They have a tough schedule too,
yeah, I think it goes
with no
Browns,
talent because they got rid of as much talent as they possibly could.
Browns, Raiders, Carolina. That's like the worst 1, 2, 3 for the Giants possible, and the Giants at 4 because
Yeah.
the Raiders and the Browns both need quarterback,
But
and maybe in the Panthers. Who knows?
if you're the Browns,
Yes.
would you trade the number two pick to the Giants
No. Well, it depends.
for a pick next year? You know what a number two gets you.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting the first. You're getting the fifth pick this year.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting our first round pick next year,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll still have your first pick next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is guaranteed to be just as bad as it was this year,
Mm-hmm.
right? With possibly a better quarterback core coming out next year.
Maybe. I have no idea.
Maybe. Apparently, the rule is the thing is that people aren't really feeling the quarterbacks coming out in this draft, right? You have Deshaun Watson. That's a problem,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I think if you're the Browns, you are more than willing to trade your pick if you have the number two or even the number one pick. If you're that they're not, especially if you're looking at Shador Sanders, because Deion Sanders basically already said he's not letting his son go to the
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland Browns. So you're probably better off in that case trading your pick, getting the fifth pick and getting the first pick next year and doing something with it. I don't think the Raiders are going to do that, even though the Raiders are also another one of those teams that need talent everywhere along the board, not just quarterback.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I think if the Giants see someone that they like, this is probably one of the better drafts to do that because Raiders need a lot. They don't just need a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns need a lot. Don't just need a quarterback, and they're already paying a ton for the quarterback position. So if they can kick that can down the river, go one more year with Deshaun, and then take all those assets that they got from this trade, they could possibly make a move in the following year. Maybe even cut Deshaun and feel a little bit better about cutting him next
If
year.
you cut Deshaun Watson in 2025, it is $172 million in dead cap.
What?
If you cut Deshaun Watson in 2025, you are eating $172 million in dead cap.
The end of this year or the end of this year?
Yes.
Or I'm talking about wait till the next year.
I'm talking
The
about
2026.
Oh,
Okay.
2026?
2026.
Then you're looking at $99 million in dead cap.
It's been done. It's been done.
Yep.
The Broncos eating a whole lot. They're eating a whole lot.
Yeah. I don't even know, man. It's rough.
They got to do it at one point in time.
Yeah.
Like,
so if you cut him post June 1 next year, it's only 118 million.
I think he stays on. I think he stays on till next year. I think 2026 is the year that they do it. One, like I said, they 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 will have had enough young talent now and got that roster almost bare bones to where eating the dead cap won't matter that much.
Well,
They'll
then
have
they need to start shedding other contracts then.
Oh, that'll happen.
Like Garrett Wilson, or not Garrett Wilson,
Miles Garrett.
Miles
Miles
Garrett,
Garrett.
Chubb. They won't re-sign him.
Nope.
Uh,
And he'll go flourish someplace else.
yep. And then, well, they traded for Jerry Judy for whatever reason. They got rid of Amari Cooper. Yeah, like I don't even know what their Browns salary cap looks like, but they've earned
It's
everything that they've done.
that's my plan, and it's selfish of me because I'm not thinking about the Browns. I'm truly thinking about, can the Giants move up from whatever position that they have that may not be one or two, because I truly think, like you said, it's going to be probably the Raiders and then the Browns for the 1 and 2 pick.
Mm-hmm.
Can they actively move up to another position by trading some of their draft capital away? Um, I think they can. I think they should have been sellers at this trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Darius Slayton would have helped the team. Azeez Ojulari would have helped the team. They would have possibly given you a fourth round pick of some sort, for either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Maybe a fifth for Darius Slayton, depending on what team would have wanted him. But I think you could have got a fourth for Azeez Ojulari. He was having a career, won a really good year. I think they should have been sellers. Um, because the worst thing is if you have to be a seller and then have to give up one somebody you don't want to give up, so you can get those. And what I'm saying is, the man with the New York Giants tattoo on him, Dexter Lawrence, I don't want to see him leave. But when you're making hard decisions and you need draft picks, you don't have enough talent everywhere else,
And
right? No.
what stinks about being a seller is, unless you're selling blue chip, you're not getting blue chip picks back, right? So
Correct.
it's real
Mm-hmm.
tough.
Yep.
So yeah, trading, second or third tier guys is going to get you fourth or
They're gonna
fifth
get
round
you in the
picks.
fourth and fifth round picks. That's it.
Like,
Maybe you can trade, if you want to trade Thibodeau when he's healthy. The name alone and what he has done can possibly get you a third.
but he's still
Don't
young
think
and he's
he's
still on
still
that rookie
young.
deal, right? It's tough to trade that unless it's tough to want to trade that.
You don't want to.
Unless there's like just something internal that's terrible about it, right? Like Thibodeau's
And, and, and yeah,
like a
and I don't
locker
hear
room
that.
guy. Yeah, it's
I
like,
definitely don't hear that. The man's doing commercials for the NFL.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't hear that at all. Um, but it's just, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we're actually in the mood right now where we need all of our picks. We know what pick we know what player we need. We
yeah,
know what position we need.
yeah,
Whatever it takes to get that position, we should be willing to, because I think they've made a good, decent team, or what they have right now. And it's a young team. Not a lot of old talent on that team,
no,
except for the offensive line is getting a little older, but still 20s for most
yeah,
of the course in on there. So that's my thing. I don't know if we need our picks. My thing is, we have to do whatever we need to do to get the quarterback that Brian Daboll determines at the combine. This is the guy I want.
yep,
Whatever it takes to get that guy that Daboll says is the guy I want, give it up. It doesn't make a difference. So,
yep. Unless you're sitting in a situation where the guys that have those picks don't want to move out of those spots, which is the tough one, right? And that's why you don't want the Giants to tank, right? You don't want them to lose, but you want them to lose, right? Like, I get it. I've been there, man. Like, I know what
mm-hmm,
that's like. And then
mm-hmm.
I had the benefit of being able to cheer for the Carolina to lose last year, which was very easy to do.
Yes. Yes. It's a thing. Because you got every position that they move out of five, lower than five, makes it that much harder to trade to move up.
Yep.
If you're fourth, fifth, easier to move up to first.
Mm-hmm.
If you're seventh, not so easy.
If you're ninth, you have to give up your
Oh,
pick this year,
oh,
your third this year, your first next year, a second the
a
following,
second.
and DJ Moore.
It gets it gets to be a lot.
Yeah,
It gets to be a lot,
it's a
and
lot.
you don't want to be in that position.
You know
So
what's great about that trade? It's still not done yet. The Bears still have their second round pick next year. I love it.
but you got to do something with these guys, though. You got to actually you got to do something with these
That's the
picks.
problem. Yeah, Floose is the problem.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
need to cut the Floose loose. It used to be like, oh, the Floose is loose. No, no, it was never that.
The Floose was never loose. It was just
Oh,
dangling around. It was I don't know.
the Floose needs to be let go. Just should have done it last year, but I understand. I get what it is. Are there any games we want to talk about? Eagles beat the Commanders on Thursday night, thanks to Saquon having a Saquon game. The games that you talk about, where he's like, he'll have 20 carries at 2 yards to carry, and then he'll bust out a 43-yarder, and then
This is career.
Yeah.
This is career.
As soon as it happened, I wanted to text him like, Saquon having a Saquon game.
He had 200 yards almost all purpose. He was catching two.
Yeah.
He did. That's a Saquon.
He had a great game. We talk about Lions embarrassing the Jaguars so much that Doug Peterson will probably be fired somewhere in this bye. The Vikings eke out one against the Titans. Oh, but Will Levis had the longest play of the season so far. He had a 98-yard pass play.
Was it a screen pass that went for 98 yards?
It was actually, it was actually had about 25 or 30 yards to it. Yeah, he had a guy that was wide open. Then the Dolphins beat the Raiders, and Tyreek Hill got in the end zone again. Good for him. Rams beat the Patriots. It was a close one, but they beat the Patriots, so that was good. Saints beat the Browns.
yeah, everyone's beating the Browns.
Saints had 2 great games to start the season, then lost 7 straight, and then have won two games in a row. So who knows? The Jets lose to the Colts, 28-27. Yeah. Should have won, but didn't. That's fun. Okay, Steelers, Ravens.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin's got his number.
Yeah, he does.
Mike Tomlin knows something that he's not telling anybody.
But
whether it's a personal secret,
something.
He just sends a note that he leaves it on Lamar's. I still know what you did.
Yeah. Yep. And it's like hung into the wall with like a Rambo knife.
Yes, because I don't know. There's like nobody open, and players are still dropping passes. Flowers dropped an easy one.
Dude, that interception that happened where the guy caught it, landed, and then had it yanked out of his arms as he fell to the ground. Like, come on. How do you rule that an interception?
I thought it was a fumble.
And not a takeaway and a recovery, right? A fumble and a recovery. Whatever. And even after all of that, Lamar still brought him down for a game-tying play. And I don't know.
To get the 2-point conversion.
I don't know what happened on that 2-point conversion. Apparently,
no one went the right way. Nobody. He rolled left, and everyone else at the right side, and no one was coming across the field.
Either the Steelers knew it was a naked boot to their side, but like nobody is going with them, and it looked like he was trying to jump past, but there's nobody to jump past to.
There's no one to pass. Yeah. He wound up hitting the back of an offensive lineman who I don't think was eligible.
No. that was rough, and then so. I was watching the game. I turned on this game after the Bears lost. The Bears lost. I was like, and I turned on the Steelers-Ravens. And then the Steelers like, all they needed to do is get a first down to end the game. Look at this. Here comes Justin Fields. And my initial thought was, oh, no. If any human being I've ever seen fumble at inopportune fourth quarter times, it's Justin Fields. That's my first thought. And I'm like, please don't fumble, Justin. Please don't fumble. He gets the design run, and then he slides half a yard short.
The thing is, that was the second play of the game.
Yeah.
They did that exact same play early in the game, and he ran for like 15 yards.
He could have got 12, except for he slid.
And that's new. Like, he didn't used to slide. Like, where'd you learn that?
But he used to get creamed, and no one would ever throw a flag.
Where'd you learn that at? Don't start doing stuff now that you didn't do before.
Well, the defense held up and didn't crush his head into the ground. So yeah, that was that. Steelers ended up winning that game. Man,
the Ravens are going to be in a position
where they have to win all on the road.
It's they're going to be in a position where they may not make the playoffs.
They're 7-4. They'll make the playoffs.
Right now, okay, Buffalo division leaders, Steelers division leaders, Houston division leaders, Kansas City division leaders, Chargers, Denver 6-5, 1 game back. I think there's enough room for one more team. So yes, they can
So
still
here's the thing.
They almost can't miss the playoffs the way I'm looking at
There are
it.
no teams other than division leader coming out of the South. There's no team other than division leader coming out of the East.
East. Yep.
Right? The rest of the North is out of it. The Bengals are out, and the
Yes.
Browns are going to get the first pick of the draft. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The West is intriguing. You may have three teams, which is disgusting because one was the Broncos.
One of them is the Broncos. At right now, the Baltimore Ravens would be the 6th seed.
Yeah,
6th seed. Yep.
So
they're almost definitely in, but like you said, they'd have to travel everywhere, which I don't think they mind that.
Yeah,
they just want to get in.
Yep. Broncos beat the Falcons, embarrassingly enough. Bo Nix with a great game.
Great game.
Great game. It's like
I listen. I was like, are the Falcons this bad? I hadn't watched many Falcons defensive games, right? Bo Nix was throwing to wide open people.
Yeah.
Wide receivers were open over the middle, and he did not miss them.
Yeah.
He looked good. He looked good throwing to them too, but they were just always wide open.
Yeah.
I'm just like, where's the defender?
I don't know.
So
Seahawks beat the 49ers.
In a Geno game. Geno.
Last 12 seconds, Geno says, I'm just going to run it in myself, and wins the game, so good for him. They're 5-5. 49ers are 5-5. And the Cardinals are in first place.
6-4.
The Rams, the
entire division is 5-5. Yep.
Chiefs lose to the Bills, which we both saw coming.
Mm-hmm.
Which was nice. Josh Allen had a great game.
The Chiefs just don't look like the Chiefs. And Kelsey has gotten old. I don't know. He can't get open. He can't get open. He's gotten old.
It's the haircut and the mustache, probably.
Takes a lot out of him.
It does. Chargers beat the Bengals.
They did.
Prime time. Now the Chargers were blowing them out in the first half. And the Bengals at halftime, I don't know, hooked themselves up to a car battery or something, and they got going. The defense was different. The offense was hitting. I was like, oh, my God. And then they came all the way back. I'm like, oh, my God. And Justin Herbert had a fumble. And I'm like, oh, my God. If they lose, that's all I'm going to hear from Harland. That's all I'm going to hear from Harland. All they got was a field goal in the second half. The final 2 minutes of that game, did you watch the game?
No.
Final 2 minutes of the game. Missed field goal. Punt. And then there was still a minute on the clock, and they marched down and they got the touchdown. So good for Justin Herbert. And then last night the Texans beat the Cowboys thoroughly. I think the best part about it is before the game, the literal sky is falling in Dallas as a huge hunk of metal falls from the ceiling and would have killed people if it landed in the stands. Luckily, there was nobody in there yet. So that happened.
And another piece was full. Did you see that they said another piece was hanging?
Oh yeah, and they had to go up there and fix it. Yep.
And bolt it down.
Yep.
Yeah, the best part of that play was to me the double fumble.
Yes, the double fumble. The lineman, Mr. Lineman, I don't remember what his name is, but just fall on the ball.
Exactly. When they call running plays for them, they protect the ball. Whenever they pick the ball up, you almost know someone's going to hit the ball out their hands. Yep. They're just not ready. They're just so happy.
Yeah, so it was 2 fumbles on the play because it was fumbled,
the quarterback
recovered, and then it was recovered and then fumbled again.
And picked up for the touchdown.
Yes, Jalen Petrie.
That's the worst part.
Yeah,
that's the worst part about it. Yeah, they stink, but I was happy I had the defense going, so I was okay.
Yeah, and that Houston defense, love it. All right, last week, picking wise, one of us did pretty good.
Was it me?
No.
Oh.
I got 10-4. You went 8-6.
Mm.
So you had the Commanders. You had the Browns.
Did the Commanders play?
Yeah, they lost the Eagles.
Oh, Thursday. Yeah, it's so Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday.
You had the Ravens, you had the Falcons, you had the Niners, and you had the Bengals.
Damn, that's all tough games.
Yep.
Those are all tough games.
Yep.
You said I had the Niners. That was a close game.
Yep.
The Bengals, close game.
Now,
the Ravens, close game.
When I was filling this out yesterday or Sunday, I for some reason had you down as the Jaguars against the Lions. I was like, what?
I don't think I said that.
I had to pull up the podcast and double check, and I listened to all the picks again. I was like, nope. I just zoned out and typed Jaguars there.
You had to go back. He was like, did he say that?
I'm like, there's no way. Now, what you did say is, I'm going Dogs. And but you didn't say Jaguars.
I had to come back. I got to make a comeback, so I got to pick some ones that are not regular.
So now we're looking at 103 and 63 for me, 166 for you, which isn't bad.
Down 3.
Right?
I got time.
Hey, you be making the playoffs in Major League Baseball, right?
I got time.
100-win season gets you in the playoffs. Now this week we got games. Where's my sheet?
I'm playing for keeps now. I'm just
letting you know. Now
there'll be no picking the Giants just because they're the Giants anymore.
I gotta win. All right, we have Thursday night. The 2-8 Browns fighting for the number 1 pick.
The other team.
Playing the 8-2 Steelers.
Yeah.
And a divisional rival unlike any other.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Steelers. I'm going to go
Pittsburgh's only 3.5 favorites on the road. Because Pittsburgh...
You can't make them 7-point favorites.
Well, all they do is kick field goals, right? So...
Yep, I'm trying to get him in one of my leagues right now. Boswell.
There is an argument to be made that he is the MVP. It's not a good argument, but there's an argument.
There's an argument.
Oh my God! This last week, before Lamar even took a snap, there were so many. Can this person become a dark horse MVP candidate? Justin Herbert, Josh Allen. Can all I think of all of the quarterbacks that are playing, Josh Allen is the only one
has the best chance.
Is the best chance. Justin Herbert, great. Yeah, no, it's not happening. Can Sam Darnold come back? What about Jared Goff? No. Mm-mm. And then it's like, it's most valuable player, not best player. No, that is exactly what MVP means. It means best player. Chase Daniels, be quiet. All right. Sunday in Soldier Field, the Bears take on the Vikings. 8-2 Vikings visiting the 4-6 Bears, who keep finding ways to lose. The Bears were 4-2 at one point, remember?
They were.
Now they're 4-6.
Oh, yeah.
Minnesota are 3.5-point favorites.
I'm going Minnesota because I know you got to go Chicago.
I don't got to do nothing. But I am going to go Bears because they can't lose 5 in a row, can they?
The Giants lost 5. Well, the Cowboys lost 5. It can happen. It can happen.
The Bears are better than the Giants and the Cowboys.
They're not impervious. They're not impervious to losing 5.
Oh, I know they are. I've seen them lose many in a row. Also at noon, we have the New York Football Giants at 2-8.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm picking the Bucs.
Taking the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are 4-6.
Nope. Yeah.
They're also 5.5-point favorites.
And they said that Mike Evans might be coming back for this game.
All right. I'm taking the Buccaneers as well.
Mm-hmm. I'll find other ways to catch up.
Also at noon, the Colts 5-6 coming off their big win against the Jets, hosting the garbage disposal. The Colts are the fork. The Lions are the garbage disposal.
No. I was thinking about picking. I was like, all right, who the Colts? I might like them. Nope, not against the Lions.
Lions are 7-point favorites on the road to the Colts. The Lions were
70.
The Lions were 14-point favorites against the Jags last week, and they cleared
beat them by 40.
They won by 46. 46.
Yep.
You taking the
Yep.
Colts on this one?
Oh no, no. See, usual. You'd have listened to back to the thing and accidentally heard me
I
say
had
no.
to. I'm taking the Lions as well. Like, it's a fool's errand to bet against the Lions right now. Like, they're not
And
gonna.
seven and seven,
Yeah,
just seven.
yeah, and just 7 against the
Yeah,
Colts in an indoor stadium. Yeah,
yeah.
against
I'd
Anthony
bet
Richardson,
everything.
there's a chance Anthony Richardson gets picked off 25 times in this game.
there's, there's a chance you
All
might be
by
able to take
Joseph
us.
Kirby.
You could
He's
go get
leading
a
the world
second
in
corner.
interceptions right now. Joseph Kirby is. He's got 7 of them, I
Oh,
think.
I saw something that I was not too happy about.
What's that?
It was people like I think I saw that Xavier McKinney
Mm-hmm.
leads the league in interceptions,
Mm-hmm. At one point, he did, yeah.
and Saquon Barkley I think leads the league in yards from
All-purpose yardage,
scrimmage.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, that doesn't make me feel good, guys. Thanks for that. I
No.
think it was the Giants website that I saw, not the website. The websites act like those guys don't exist, but it's the forums.
I will tell you what, if this makes you feel better, Xavier McKinney was made to look foolish on a DeAndre Swift touchdown run this last weekend. That 43-yarder. So, did you watch that? Did you see that play? Because Braxton Jones laid out whoever on the block.
That the offensive lineman was killing
Braxton
that
Jones
one. Yes,
destroyed someone.
yes.
But then DeAndre Swift did his little zigzaggy run down the field.
Turned him around.
Turned McKinney around and scored on him. McKinney was over there yelling at everybody else on the defense on the sidelines. So, I don't know, dude. You made look. Tom Brady had the line, one of the best descriptive lines I've ever heard anybody in the booth say, and it made me go, Tom Brady's not this bad at this, and it made me mad because he's good at it. Because DJ Moore got a pass, and he like broke like 4 tackles to get it down to like the 5 or something like that, and he goes, he looked like a Plinko chip, and I was like, oh. He did. He's like dun, 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 back and forth. I'm like, God damn it, Tom Brady. All right. The Dolphins, 4-6, coming off a win, feeling good, are 7-point favorites against the visiting Patriots.
Ooh, that's tough. The Patriots have played very good games.
They played tough, yeah.
They've played tough. Oh man, they play tough. I want to pick the Patriots. I want to. I need some dogs in there. Where are they playing at?
In Miami.
I
noon.
can't then. I can't. Then I gotta go.
AccuWeather's only 73 and sunny right now.
I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go Miami.
I'm going Miami as well.
I really wanted to go.
Then we have also at noon the Commanders hosting the Cowboys. Washington are 10.5-point favorites.
And
yes,
the Lions against the Colts was 7 points.
Oh yeah, yep. Like, I would say the Lions versus the Jaguars is only 14.
That's what I mean. 10. Man, I don't know if I'd put the 10 if I was betting money. I don't know if I'd pick the Washington plus 10, but I'm picking them for this thing.
Just straight up win.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Commanders as well. Ooh, I better spell Commanders right, otherwise it won't count. There we go. Now we have the Panthers 3-7, feeling good coming off the bye. They got the win in Germany against some other team. We don't need to.
we don't remember
need to
that
team.
That team doesn't even have their quarterback anymore, so it's a totally different team now.
The Panthers. So the Panthers in consecutive weeks
have gotten somebody fired.
In consecutive weeks.
I told you it's very possible you lose to them. Somebody's got to lose their job.
Yep. So the Panthers are hosting the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the Chiefs are 10.5-point favorites.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to go Chiefs, but I don't know if they cover 10.5 either.
I don't
know. They're
not
very good on offense.
I don't know. Oh boy, this would be the dog to pick, I think. The Chiefs losing 2 in a row.
Then you can pick them. You can pick.
Oh, no. I'm trying to get you to pick them.
No. I'll go slow and steady. I got 2 games that you differ from. Well, 1, I think, at this point in time.
Yep, and it's the Bears.
The Bears. Yep.
So then we got the Texans hosting the Titans.
Oh,
Texans are 8-point favorites.
These aren't even fun to even the closest one that I thought about was Miami and the Patriots. This isn't even close. This is Houston.
Yeah.
Even as bad as Houston been playing, they're better than the Titans by far.
By far. Yeah, the Titans are not good. All right. Oh, okay. So we got a few we can differ on coming up. Oh, this is a good slate coming up after this game. The Raiders 2-8 hosting the Broncos 6-5. Broncos are 5.5-point favorites on the road.
Broncos.
Yep, that's probably the right pick as well.
I forgot. I'm going to be at 2 of these games.
All right. Which 2?
The Rams versus the Eagles.
Oh yeah, that's coming up. That's Sunday night. Yep.
And then the Monday Night Football game.
Oh, you made both.
The Chargers versus the Ravens.
You're not going to be back next Tuesday, are you?
I'll be back Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Oh boy. Then after that, we got the rest of the 3 o'clock games. 49ers on the road in Lambeau Field. Packers 7-3, 49ers 55-5. Green Bay are 2.5-point favorites.
This is where we're different because you can't pick the Packers.
No, I cannot.
So I'm picking the Packers.
That's fine. You can pick the Packers. The 49ers always beat the Packers. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Then we had the Seahawks hosting the Cardinals. The Seahawks.
Cardinals coming off their bye.
Seahawks are 1-point favorites.
Picking Arizona.
Yeah, that's the right pick. That is the right pick, but I said no more dogs. Does Seattle figured it out? It is a division. Yep, I'm taking Seattle.
All right, here we go. That's 3. I can come back right now. Right there.
Oh, you won't.
I don't like that. I don't like that Green Bay over to San Francisco.
I'm running the table the rest of the way the whole season. I'm running the table the whole way from here on out.
every game is a win.
And knowing I have to pick the Bears. You know what that means?
That's a tough one. I don't know if that's gonna happen. They don't.
And
they'll find a way. They'll find a way to lose for you.
Oh, I know they will. Rams. Sunday night football, 5-5 Rams hosting the 8-2 Eagles. Philadelphia are 3-point favorites on the road.
As much as I want the Philadelphia Eagles to lose,
yeah,
because now it's a competition between me and you.
Yes,
the fun is over. It's over. There's no more fun. Now it's competition. I'm going to go Eagles.
I'm going Eagles as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now Monday Night Football.
You can go pick Herbert. You know who I'm picking.
This is an interesting one. This is interesting.
Uh-huh.
The Ravens on the road.
Yep.
Versus the Chargers at home. Baltimore are 3-point favorites.
You know who I'm picking.
I know who you're picking. Here's the thing. I really like Lamar Jackson. A lot. I really like Justin Herbert a lot, too. This is a tough one. It's tough when you like a lot.
It's Harbaugh versus Harbaugh, too.
It's Harbaugh versus Harbaugh. Hasn't happened since the Super Bowl.
San Francisco. Yeah.
When John beat Jim in the Super Bowl. What do we do here? What? The Ravens are the right pick. But sometimes the right pick isn't what gets you. The Ravens were the right pick against the Steelers, too. Ravens were the right pick against the Raiders.
Of course they were. That was just
and the Ravens
fluke.
were the right pick against the Browns.
these are flukes.
How many? 3 flukes this season? They were the right pick against the Chiefs too.
Listen, I don't know if they were the right pick against the Chiefs.
We're talking on the road against a good defensive team.
Yes. Is Mike Tomlin the coach of the Chargers?
No, but Jim Harbaugh is, and apparently he's good. God, I hate picking Jim Harbaugh.
Go ahead, pick him.
I'm going to though. That's it. That's my.
I'm taking the lead, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Harland is taking the lead this week.
Nope, not happening. I'm
going from the underdog to the big dog.
And I said no more dogs. But I just talked myself into Justin Herbert
Mm-hmm.
beating the Ravens.
You did.
And here's the thing: the Ravens have to win this game.
Yes, they do.
The Chargers don't necessarily have to win this game.
Nope. They puts them in the same record. They would have the same record.
But the Ravens
No,
going to
Ravens would be a half game up.
Ravens going 7-5 is tough.
Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. But they're gonna have tough games. Like that's another thing about it. They will be battle tested in
sure.
this. And they've already lost to the Steelers. They got to play them one more time. They've already lost to the Chiefs. So they're going to play the Chargers. This now, they're going to be battle tested for the playoffs, and they're going to get this win though this time.
They go
and they may have to play them away. So
they go Chargers at home versus the Eagles, at the Giants, at home versus Pittsburgh, at Houston, at home versus the Browns.
Yeah, they got to
finish out the season
with a bye week.
Yeah, they got a bye week in there too.
No, I meant the bye week being the Browns. They finished.
Oh yeah, there's that as well. I don't know. They got a tough run.
They do, and they got
7-5 is really not good for them.
They'll make it easier with a win this week. A win this week gets them 10 wins because you talk about the win against the Giants, a win against the Browns, right? That gives them at least 10.
Yeah.
Which is enough for the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, they should have been, man, they lost the Browns 29-24. They lost the Raiders 26-23. Every loss is a one-score loss. And most of I'm taking the Chargers.
Yeah, I know you are.
Taking the Chargers. I don't know why. Maybe it's the lightning bolt. Maybe it's the blue. Maybe it's Justin Herbert. Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know.
And I got the better Harbaugh brother on my side.
I know you do. That's the thing that pisses me off. It's every fiber of my being wants me to go Ravens, but my mouth is saying Chargers. So that's what I'm going with. And maybe it's reverse psychology. Maybe I want the Ravens to win, and every time I go, I go all the way in on the Ravens. They disappoint. I'm gonna be a bystander. I'm gonna go all the way in on the Chargers and ruin them.
That works for me. That works for me.
You just hate Justin Herbert for no real reason.
I think he's very talented. I do think he's talented.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson. So, it's God. I just looked at his numbers again. They were just sitting right here, right? And right above Derrick Henry's numbers, and just like, oh, God bless it. How do you not always win with those numbers?
That's true. They should.
They're third in passing yards. They're second in rushing yards. They're second in points scored. But they're 23rd in points allowed. That's the problem.
That's how you lose. Yeah. That's how you lose.
Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, well. I think that's a good sweep for me. I'm going to win
going from the underdog to the big dog.
All of them. Yep. Looking at my list of teams here, it's the obvious choices.
No.
Even the Seahawks over the Cardinals. I can't the Cardinals they're one of those teams, man. You feel good about them and they just disappoint you. It's like being a Bears fan. I just can't pick good teams.
I feel good. I feel good about the Cardinals. I feel good about them.
Yeah, you should. They're a good team. They're a good scrappy team. But they're going to lose this week to Seattle, and Seattle's probably going to win that division.
You picked the Arizona Cardinals to win the division.
I know I did. You don't have to tell me. I know what my picks were.
I don't think they're going to do it anymore.
Well, here. We'll go back to our season predictions. NFC East. I had the Eagles. You had the Giants.
Okay, you might give me on that one. That was
NFC North. You had the Packers. I had the Bears.
Yep, we both probably incorrect on that one.
NFC South.
Even I'm closer.
The South. We both had the Falcons.
Yep, they're winning the division right now.
The West. You had the Niners. I had the Cardinals.
The Niners are one game back like everyone else,
Yep.
and the Cardinals are in the lead.
Now you ready for this? Is where it's AFC East. You had the Jets. I had the Bills.
Oh, you had the who?
I had the Bills.
Jesus, that's an L. Okay,
The
all right.
North, we both had the Ravens.
They can still do it.
The South, you had the Texans. I had the Colts.
I'm probably gonna win that.
Yep. And the West, we both had the Chiefs.
They're both there. So, uh
All right.
if we're yeah, no, we both have. So the West is really the one that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
The NFC West. Because I'm gonna lose the NFC East, and you're gonna and I'm gonna lose the AFC East. Yes. Both East, I'm gonna lose.
Yes.
The North, we both have the same team, so it doesn't make a difference. The AFC South, I've got Houston. You've got Tennessee, and Indianapolis. I can win.
Yes.
The AFC West, we both have the Chiefs. We both have the Falcons in the NFC South, right?
Yes.
So it's going to come down to NFC West, and it's going to probably be a tie because neither one of us, the Bears, aren't getting in NFC North.
No.
The Packers have a chance, and it's not happening. No. But so it's probably going to be a tie. I have to win in the NFC West with San Francisco. Yeah, because I'm definitely losing the East. Unless the Commanders can come ahead and beat the NFC and get a higher record than the Eagles.
That's tough. The Eagles are.
That's tough. That's tough.
I don't think the Eagles are great, but they're good. So for defensive rookie of the year, you chose Terry Arnold, which is a pretty good pick. I chose Austin Booker, which doesn't matter. Because I said, well, the last 2 years it's been the same team has won the offensive and defensive rookie of the year because I took Caleb Williams, which is not unless he just blows it up
good.
in the second half.
Not looking good.
Unless he just destroys the second half. And then you had Malik Neighbors.
Yep, neither one of them are going to do it. It'll be Jaden Daniels.
Comeback player of the year, you had Daniel Jones.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What?
I in my logic, I chose Ryan Tannehill. I'm like, it's going to be some quarterback that gets called up at the end of the season and goes on a Flacco run.
Oh, my pick was better than yours.
Now, here we go. Coach of the year, you chose Raheem Morris, who is the coach for the Falcons, I believe.
Yeah.
I chose a man we shall not be named.
Robert Saleh?
No, I chose Eberflus because if the Bears win the North and Caleb Williams wins Rookie of the Year, Eberflus would have to win Coach of the Year, right?
He would at that point.
Well, guess what?
He'll be fired. You're hoping for that.
Been hoping he'd be fired for several years now. Defensive Player of the Year, you had Brian Burns. Boy, you're such a homer.
I don't even remember picking Brian Burns.
I chose Myles Garrett. It's going to be T.J. Watt. Offensive Player of the Year, you had Garrett Wilson to go along with your Jets. I had Saquon Barkley.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
It's a good pick.
I know.
That might be the only one we get right.
MVP, you had Patrick Mahomes.
That's not happening.
You
had Lamar Jackson?
I had Kyler Murray. Because you laughed at me. And I'm like, well, they're going to win the West.
That's definitely not happening. Okay, good.
NFC Championship. NFC Champions, you had the Packers. I had the Lions.
Yep, you got a good chance.
AFC Champions, you have the Ravens. I have the Bills.
Oh.
Super Bowl winner, you have the Ravens. I have the Bills.
That's close. That's so I still like my Packers pick.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick.
Still like my Packers pick.
I don't like them beating the Lions in the playoffs.
I like it. They almost did it last year.
The Bears beat the Lions last year. Almost beat them twice last year.
I'm not about in the playoffs though.
This Lions
this is the
team,
playoffs game.
I don't care. So what's going to happen is that Lions, the garbage disposal, it's going to be like the Packers going to be like the fork will never be recovered. You're going to have to call the plumber afterwards, and that's what's going to happen.
I don't know. I know.
I do. Yep.
I don't. Their luck Their luck is gonna run out at some point in time.
I don't know, man. I don't think it's luck.
I don't think it's luck either, but
But now, if you said that about the Chiefs, be like, yeah, it feels like it should be that way. They should be running dry soon here. That Lions team, ugh. That Lions team is a buzzsaw, man.
man, you probably get that right with the offensive player of the year. It'll probably be Saquon Barkley
It's looking like it, or Derrick Henry, one of the two.
or Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
NFC offensive player of the year. Yeah, definitely.
yeah. I think there's only one offensive player of the year.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah. I don't
Man,
know.
those some really bad picks for me in there. Some really homer picks in there. Why did we let me make those picks?
Well, I picked Eberflus as coach of the year. Come on, I knew better than that. He had a beard though. I was riding that beard high.
So did Dave Jones.
Yeah, that's our own mistakes. We were riding the beards.
I said, I don't want to say that. Let's not say that.
Hey,
You have to mute that one.
nope. If I had it queued up, I could have done MJD going. You think the Chiefs can ride the D all season? Still one of my favorite moments I witnessed live on television. It was amazing.
Oh man. Yeah, no, I don't know. There's definitely some bad picks in there.
Definitely some bad picks. I gotta ask you a question, unfootball related,
Mm-hmm.
because it opens this Friday in movie theaters.
Gladiator 2, I'll see it.
Are you? Yeah.
I'm gonna see it, yeah.
Like in theaters, you're gonna wait.
Probably in theaters. I still like going to
I do
theaters.
too. Are you excited about it?
No, I don't really get excited about movies anymore. Sometimes I do. And then it's funny, the ones I get excited about, I usually don't see. Like I really wanted to see Alien Romulus in the theater, didn't go see it.
I almost bought the other day, but it's like $40. I'm like, I'm not gonna spend $40 on a digital movie. What is this?
Just gonna wait.
Yeah,
just gonna wait.
It'll be on HBO or not HBO. Who owns that? Oh, Disney owns it.
Yeah. So it's either Hulu or Disney Plus.
I don't know.
Probably Hulu.
Yeah. Well, Wolverine and Deadpool are on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm. They are. But that's a Marvel movie. You gotta get
That's
that.
true too. Yeah, I really want to watch Alien though. Like I really want to watch it.
Mm-hmm. So do I. They're doing Hulu's doing a series on it. They do the new Alien series.
Are they really?
Yeah, it's Alien Earth, I think it's called.
I think I heard of that. I'm gonna have to watch that too. There's a Dune series that started on HBO Max this weekend.
So I couldn't watch it. I was gonna ask you about that.
I haven't watched it yet.
I tried watching it. Oh my god, it was so boring when I first started watching it.
Is it like is it boring like trying to get into Game of Thrones boring for the first time?
I wished. I was asking myself, is Game of Thrones this boring when I was first trying to watch it? Like then I was like, I didn't even finish it. It was just so much exposition and setting up because it takes place like way in the past, right? So I'm just trying to
past, yeah. So our future,
Dune's past, yeah. Dune's past. Some of the story I didn't know, so I'm trying just getting it. Like they're talking about the Harkonnens and what happened and the trail. What is the trail? It's not a name. Trail. The Atreides. The trail is a never-ending story.
Yeah.
The Atreides family, and they mention these names and like what leads up to. But I swear it felt like those first 15, 20 minutes is just words. And no one really speaking, just like voiceover.
Oh no!
While things is happening.
15 minutes? No.
It felt like it, dude. I'm telling you, it felt like it. Like
no.
I was like, I have to ask Derek if he saw it. I tried watching it. Like I turned to it, I was like, oh, it's on HBO. I was like, all right, let me watch it. And then I was like, I'm not interested in this in the slightest.
I really like Dune though, so maybe
I know. That's why I would ask
you. I'll probably watch it and be riveted the whole time, like calling you. You don't like Lineage? What are you insane?
That's what it is.
You realize what this means? No, I don't know. I have no idea. I still gotta catch up on Penguin. I've only watched the first episode,
Same
I
here.
really enjoyed the first episode. I was like, man, that's really good. I can't wait to watch the rest. I haven't watched the rest.
Nope, neither have I.
But I've heard it's good. I don't know. We'll see. I'll catch up on it eventually. Probably in like a year or two, or like before the next Batman movie comes out.
Before the next one comes out.
Like, oh wait, I gotta catch up on Penguin, and I'll binge them all over a couple of nights and be like, oh, I should have watched it earlier.
It was really good.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I'll be wanting to talk about Penguin in 3 years when no one gives a shit about Penguin. That's how it goes. All right, Harland.